the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome, race fans, here to the Iowa Speedway. It is chase race number 2 for round 2 tonight. One of these drivers are going to be headed home after this event here. 2 drivers on the cut line right now, Joshua Buckley and Fast 42 Max Terriot. Both are fighting to stay in the chase. It's going to be a question here tonight as these truckers head to the high banks here at Iowa. Roger Muth in the booth here once again with Jarrett Reichard, the co-pilot. Jarrett, it's a chase race, a lot of things on the line here tonight.
Absolutely, Roger. 2 guys will be going home tonight after this race. I am ready to get into some high bank short track racing.
Yeah, it's going to be a short track, bang 'em up, beat 'em up, door-to-door action here tonight, like we always see on a Monday night here from the Red Light Scrambler series. Right now, quick time. Let's see if we can get that quick time here in practice session up. Right there, you see it on the left-hand side of your screen. James Skelton right now has the quick time. He's one of those guys that are trying to stay right above the cut line here tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see if we can if he can actually stay above that cut line. Max Terriot right there is in second, and he has to have a good race here tonight to lock himself into the next round of the playoffs. Sean Butler finds himself sitting there third. He has already locked himself into the next round of the playoffs as he won last week. Jack Wells in action once again. He is in fourth, and then it's Richard Murdoch. Murdoch, one of those guys in the chase. He runs second in your point standings, 5th on the board. Then it's the guy who's running 6th right now on our practice charts here. That's the number 2, Joshua Buckley. He's going to have to kind of find the hot shoe here tonight, the quick way around the Iowa Speedway, as he is the bottom of the barrel man right now trying to find himself into the next round of the playoffs. Has a quick number 2 truck here. We'll have to see if he can keep it pointed in the right direction here. David Camara is 7th here on the board with Joe Strano 8th. Jeff Hollingsworth is right there in 9th, and Brandon Minto in 10th. There's your top 10 drivers right now here in our practice session, with just about over the 2-minute marker to go here before we head into our qualifying session. So we do like to welcome all of our fans here for the Red Light Scrambler series or on Turn 3 Racing Network for tuning in here on our Monday night. I hope you guys are ready for some playoff action as we talk about the playoff action. Let me run you down through your quick 10 drivers here in the chase standing. Sean Butler is slotted as our number 1 chase driver as he won last week, so he's locked into the next round. Then it's Richard Murdoch, Brandon Minto, Ethan Troutman, and I believe, Jarrett, I don't see Ethan Troutman out there in the lobby just yet, so we're going to have to keep an eye out to see if Troutman can make it here tonight or not. Kyle Souza is slotted in your 5th spot in the points. Then it's Patrick Orr, James Skelton tied at the 6th spot. Tim Blum holds down the 8th and final chase spot, as he is right now only 2 points above the next 2. That's Josh Buckley and Max Terriot. Those 2 are both tied right now, 17 points out of the lead, only 2 points back behind Tim Blum, so it's going to be a drag-em-out fight here tonight. Well, Jarrett, with just under a minute here left in practice, what have you been seeing out there on the track from these guys running around Iowa?
Well, they've all been pretty close in time today. Should turn out to be a pretty good race tonight. Looks like, I'm not really finding anybody out on track right now.
88 is Sean Butler out there in that Patriots 88 Toyota. We talked about him already having a win. But how about this guy right here, the the 922, Todd Cray. Every time Todd Cray finds himself here with the Red Light Scrambler Series, he's kind of puts on one heck of a show, and I don't think just because we're in a truck it's going to be any different here tonight. Got a brand new paint job. I actually don't believe we've seen that on the 922 there with Todd Cray. It's an Iron Maiden. Jared, you might, I believe you seen them over at Hershey Stadium maybe once or twice.
Yeah, I think I might have seen them a few times in my day.
Well, it's good to see Todd Cray out here as there is the checkered flag. So we're going to head off into our qualifying here. There was the running order there on the right-hand side of the screen. Now with 10 minutes of qualifying to see where these guys are going to start. Josh Buckley going to be the first driver to take to the track in that BBQ Pit Boys number 2 Toyota out on track now, trying to see if he can start that truck up front. He wants to try and get the first quick time out there on track and let everybody else try and shoot for it. Right now, it's a cool night here in Iowa. 75-degree track temp, 74-degree air temp, so that's going to help a lot of the grip here with these trucks tonight. As Joshua Buckley finds his groove out on track, you see him down there right near that yellow line in the center of the corners there in 3 and 4. It's about where you want to drive these trucks in the early going when they have a lot of grip in the tires. So Joshua Buckley turns in a quick time right there, 22.271. So right now he'll be slotted P1, and he gets knocked down real quick. David Camara comes through there. He goes quick, and then here comes a whole bunch of other boys coming across the line. Richard Murdoch now has the 01 Tabasco Silverado on the top spot with 21.977, and he gets bumped real quick. Max Terriot comes out here, lays down a quicker time with a 21.952. So now everybody shooting for the 42's time on the board. Richard Murdoch going to go one and done. Or actually, he does get a second time in, but goes a little bit slower on that second lap. Along with Max, he goes a little slower on his second lap. Christopher Rothrock coming through here in the Paul Jr.'s Design 84. He is right now slotted in your 13th spot. A little down on the pace for the time being, but he's got another lap to go. Leo Bordage out here in the number 11 FedEx machine. He goes P4 on his first lap. Christopher Rothrock not able to go any faster on his second time lap, so he'll stay in the 14th spot for the time being. Kyle Souza out there in the number 4. Right now doesn't have a time to lap in just yet. Let's take a ride around here with Kyle Souza. And there he took a lap around Iowa. It's a quick one as he throws her down into the corner there. He knows he's showing off a little bit. But Kyle Souza goes 14th on the board. Ron Holyfield is 15th right now. Robert Dudley turned in the 16th quickest time. I believe Patrick Orr is now bringing the 81 Snickers Toyota out on track to put in his first qualifying lap. 18 drivers have so far put in a qualifying time. Question tonight is, when will the 88 of Sean Butler head to the track? He has not put in a time just yet. Patrick Orr is the only one out on track. Sean Butler now starting to roll off that 88 machine, and he decides not just yet. Still 6 minutes left here on the clock in qualifying, so there's no rush situation right now to go lay down a time. A lot of these drivers only put it, or I shouldn't say only, but are putting down 22-second laps. Right now we have 3 drivers into the 21 bracket. That's Max Terriot, Brandon Minto, and Richard Murdoch. 3 drivers into the top 3. Patrick Orr on his first time lap goes 14th quickest with a 22.280. Let's see where now Sean Butler brings that 88 out on track, and now he is officially on the clock. Looks like Tim Blum is also out here in the number 10. he puts down the 8th quickest lap, and you see him. He's now trying to make a hot pit. A little, didn't find the hole there, Cotton. Sean Butler goes P5 on his first lap, and he's going to shut her down. He's going to be a one and done. Tim Blum's still out there continuing to circle the track. Right now we're waiting on Eric Johnson. We haven't seen Eric Johnson in a couple weeks, but he's back in action here with the Scrambler series on Monday night. He has not put in a time lap as he had just joined the lobby. Also waiting on Jack Walls to make a time, Jesse Baker, and Bruce Potter. So a handful of drivers still waiting to put in their first qualifying attempt here. Well, as we wait on those drivers, we're going to take a quick break here. While we're still in the qualifying session, we're going to play the national anthem. We'll be back to bring you the end of qualifying, and right before we take to the grid here for the second round of the playoffs. It is a cutoff race here for the Red Light Scrambler Series.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, welcome back, race fans. Qualifying still underway. It looks like Jesse Baker and Kevin O'Brien had put in a qualifying time here. They went 21st and 22nd. Eric Johnson still has yet to take to the track, along with Jack Walls and Bruce Potter. So while we wait for those guys to put in a quick time here, we got right now the man who's on top of the board here with under a minute to go, Max Terriot. You got a good starting spot so far. Just a couple guys left in qualifying here, but how do you think that time is going to hold up?
Yeah, those laps were a lot faster than in practice. I know Jack put up a good lap in practice, so we'll see for next 30 seconds.
Here at 30 seconds, you're looking better as the clock continues to run. How do you feel coming in here to Iowa, though? You're on the hot seat. Right now, you're tied with Josh Buckley, 2 points out of a chase spot here to continue on for a championship?
Well, of course, a win will take care of everything. Hopefully, we can have a clean race overall. I think the last couple of races we've had to gamble on pit stops and strategy to make it work, which did not work for me in the end. But let's hope for a clean race until the end.
Well, as clock hits 0, congratulations on the pole before we let you go here, and good luck. Hopefully, we can watch you get yourself into the next round of the chase.
All right, good race, guys, and enjoy this one.
Well, there you heard it from the guy who has the quick time out there, Jarrett. That's Max Terriol, and he's going to lead us to green here once we get all these guys gridded up here tonight. So let's take you through your qualifying order here for the Red Light Scrambler Series. I'm going to start it on pole here tonight. You heard from the man. You see it right there. He's in the chase. All the chase drivers are going to be indicated by the green chase bar here on our qualifying grid. So Max Terriol snags P number 1 here tonight. Right next door to him, going to be the number 20, Brandon Minto. Then it's going to be Richard Murdoch starting there in 3rd. David Camara is 4th. Starting 5th, going to be another one of the chase drivers. He's locked in. The 88 is Sean Butler. Leo Bordage going to start the number 11 FedEx machine right there in 6th. 7th, going to be James Skellum. He's another one of those chase drivers trying to stay inside the top 8 positions. Jeff Hollingsworth going to roll the 999 there in 8th. 10th place, another chase driver, the number 10 of Tim Blum. Starting 11th, going to be the 919 of Mark Vaughn. Todd Cray going to roll the 922 there in 12th. 13th spot, going to be one of the brothers. That's Tony Strano in the number 3. Starting 14th with a lot of ground to make up here. That's Josh Buckley. He finds himself on the outside looking in. 15th, going to go to the other Strano brother. That's Joe Strano, 943. Joe Strano starting 15th. Patrick Orr, chase driver, starting in the 16th spot. Another chase driver, Kyle Souza in the 4, back there in 17th. 18th, Ron Holyfield. 19th, going to be Robert Dudley. Then it's Christopher Roth rocking 20th. 21st, Kevin O'Brien. Then it's Jesse Baker in the 909. And rounding out our field here, going to be going 23rd, going to be Eric Johnson and Jack Walls. As your starting lineup, as you see them rolling away here, they're about to drop the green flag here and see who can lock themselves into the next round. We got one more lap here under pacing to get some heat in the motor, heat in the tires. Jarrett, what do you think is going to be crucial here tonight?
Ooh, I think tires are going to come into play. And about 45 laps on a green flag run on a tank of gas. This should be a good 125 laps.
Yeah, we didn't see many drivers making too many ambitious passes in the practice session, so we're going to be watching to see where the lane is going to migrate here tonight. Let's take a quick look here if we can pull up the track facts here for tonight's race. 4-corner, just a little under a mile. It's a 8.9 tenths of a mile track. 125 laps equals out to 111 miles. There you see the track temp at 74. Air temp also at a cool 74 degrees. Wind direction out of the northwest at 6 miles an hour. And as they come through turns 3 and 4, we're about to get this bad boy turned up here. 8 spots up for grabs here for the chase, and it's all going to come down to right now as we're waiting on the green flag, and the green flag is about to be displayed. Green flag out. 125 laps starts right now with Max Terriol, Brandon Minto as they go side by side down into turn number 1. Looks like Max is going to get a great start. Minto, something might have missed the shift on that number 20 as he started to go backwards right now. The battle is for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th as they head down the backstretch into turn number 3. It looks like the 11 of Leo Bordage is around. It's going to collect a whole bunch of drivers over there in turns 3 and 4. An early yellow flag coming out here as there's 4, 5, 6 drivers, 7 drivers, I believe, all wrapped up in this one. And we're going to have to really dissect this one early on here, Jarrett, of what happened. Let's rewind it here on the turn 3 racing replay. And we had just dropped the green flag, and we were just about to complete lap number 1. This all happens with Leo Bordage right here. Oh, it looks like he got a little bit of a tag there. I'm not sure who that car was, but Ryan O'Danny going to go around. Joshua Buckley, and I believe that was the 81 there of Patrick Orr also going around. So a whole bunch of drivers wrapped up in this. Kevin O'Brien is sitting there wrapped up. It looks like Robert Dudley possibly being involved there also. 2 drivers didn't take the green flag here tonight. That's going to be Eric Johnson and Bruce Potter. Let's throw this back just a little bit farther here, see if we can go on board here with Ryan O'Danny. This is the onboard camera here from the driver perspective of the 98, Ryan O'Danny. Let's see what he saw as he went down into turn 3 and 4. You see that 11 gets a little shot to the rear end, and then somebody jacks up the rear end there of the 98, and he goes around, and at that point it's too late for a lot of these guys as everybody has turned sideways and dead stopped at the exit of turn number 4. Well, Jarrett, that's not the way a lot of these drivers wanted to really start off their night.
No, absolutely not. And I believe the number 2 of Buckley got a little bit of damage. Not something he wanted being on the cut line tonight.
As we take a little bit closer look, it looks like the front end of that number 2 Toyota does look fairly clean, but that right rear has a little bit of damage. It's a short track, though. I'm not sure how much that's really going to play havoc with having that spoiler jacked up a little bit, as he got tagged by, I believe, another one of our chase drivers. That's the 81 there of Patrick Orr, and it looks like actually both those drivers are going to come down pit road to see how much damage they really have to the back and to the front of that truck. Handful of other drivers also coming down pit road. Lights on the pace car are still on. Right now, though, Max Terrell, Richard Murdoch, Sean Butler, Brandon Minto lead your top 4 positions. Then it's David Camara, James Skelton, Tim Blum, Todd Cray, Tony Strano, Joe Strano. It's a Strano stranglehold there on the 9th and 10th position. Ron Holyfield, Christopher Rothrock, Jesse Baker, Robert Dudley, Kyle Souza rounds out your top 15 here after that initial scruffle there on that start. As you do notice, scrolling across our timing and scoring, you see drivers that have green. That means those drivers are still battling for the chase. If you notice, there's only one yellow bar at the top of our screen. That's the 88 of Sean Butler. That means he's already locked in. My mistake on getting the colors switched there. The yellow drivers were supposed to be the drivers that were still contending to try and grab a chase spot into the next round. The green one was supposed to indicate that they were locked in. Well, Jarrett, some of us just can't tell our colors.
Everybody makes mistakes, Roger.
Well, we make mistakes, and looks like the lights are still on the pace car here. Let's take a quick look. We have one driver 1 lap down. He's coming back down for some more repairs on his number 11. That's Leo Bordage. So it's going to be a long night here for the number 11 of Leo Bordage. I think Eric Johnson he did not miss the initial start, actually. I'm not sure what happened, but he has showed 2 laps down with a ton of rear end damage to that number 33. Jarrett, maybe you can find what happened to the 33 of Eric Johnson. We didn't catch that live on the stream here, but there is some heavy damage to the rear end of the number 33 of Eric Johnson. So only 2 drivers a lap down right now. That'll be the 11 of Leo Bordage and the 33 of Eric Johnson. No chase implications there, as Eric Johnson was knocked out 2 races ago from the chase, so he's just out here trying to grab as many spots as he can and hold on. I believe he is shown right now in the 11th spot in the point standings. A couple other drivers now electing to come down pit road. I believe that's Kyle Souza. He's coming down pit road, bringing Mark Vaughn and Kevin O'Brien along with him. So now the lights on the pace car are out, and we're going to go green flag racing here. On lap 7, we shall take the green flag, and it's a long one still out there yet, Jarrett. 125 laps, the total lap count here for tonight.
Absolutely. So much more racing to go. Anything can happen.
And anything can happen. We know it's the chase race, and you just saw some crazy stuff here on the initial start. Why, well, with a long race to go, we might see some more crazy things here tonight. So Max Terriel, Richard Murdoch, then it's going to be the Butler, then it's Minto, 3rd and 4th, and we're about to take the green flag. As you see the iRacing pace car down and away off the racing surface. There it is, the green flag drops, and we are back to green flag racing here from Iowa. as they head down into one. It looks like Max Terriot once again going to get a great start, but he'll go, or then it's going to be Murdoch going side by side with Sean Butler down the back stretch. David Camara makes quick work of Brandon Minto. Now he's going to set his eyes straight ahead of him for the Murdoch machine and the Butler machine right out in front of him. Here to lead the first green flag lap. That's going to go to Max Terriot. He's led them all so far, but that's still the battle there for second.
And back here in 7th, the 86 of James Skelton looking to get by Minto, going down to 3. And he sets his sights on Tim Blum coming out of 4.
Yeah, James Skelton, one of those guys that was a late entry once again. He plays a little havoc every week here to see if he gets into the lobby in time, but he made it tonight here in actually plenty of time. I say just in the nick of time, but he made it in plenty of time, and now he's trying to find his way going towards the front of the field here tonight. Side by side, it's back here. That's Christopher Rothrock in the 84 to the outside. Almost finds the turn 4 exit wall, and that's Tony Strano down there on that inside of the number 3.
And back up front, Murdoch was going to the inside of Butler, and it looks like he's going to try him again coming into 3.
Yeah, Murdoch down low, the 88 of Butler running a little bit higher. Richard Murdoch did make his way around David Camara just a lap ago, and now here comes David Camara. He is fighting back as he doesn't have quite the exit speed that the 01 had, as the 01 was a little bit higher there in turns 1 and 2, and Camara had to run the bottom to try and get around him. Just wasn't enough grip. So your top driver single file out. Max Terriot doing what he needs to do right now. He leads the way with Sean Butler in second. Richard Murdoch is third. David Camara is fourth. Tim Blum is fifth. James Skelton is sixth. Brandon Minto is running in your 7th spot right now. Joe Strano is 8th. Christopher Rothrock is 9th. And Tony Strano runs in the 10th position. A couple of your chase drivers right now that are outside the top 10. This man right here, there's a gaggle right in front of him. That's Robert Dudley and Mark Vaughn battling it out there. That's the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. He's right now on the 15th spot, trying to look to the inside here on Mark Vaughn. Not a hole, though, because there is the Dudley machine down on the bottom groove. So with these guys battling it out, they're just about 3 wide off turn number 4. There for a second, I thought Buckley was going to try and fill the hole to the bottom, but he elected to stay up just a little bit and back off. Now, can he pounce to the inside down the backstretch? Looks like Mark Vaughn into the outside wall there, exiting turn number 2. That kind of checked up the outside lane there. That's the 33 of Eric Johnson, still shown 2 laps down. So then right there you saw it. Mark Vaughn was into the outside wall, and then the 33 there of Eric Johnson followed him right in there. Now it looks like Mark Vaughn got a bunch of rear end damage, and, well, add to the disappointment here tonight for Eric Johnson. Had rear end damage, now he has front end damage. Out front, still Max Terriot, Sean Butler, Richard Murdoch, David Camara. Here comes Tim Blum. He's on the back bumper here of Camara's tick-tock machine. Clocks by Christopher. Tim Blum was somebody that I was told to keep an eye on here tonight. Well, as Tim Blum tries to work to the outside here now on David Camara, is he going to be able to find a little bit of a quicker lane up there now that the tires are starting to be worn down just a little bit? Been out there on these initial set of tires here for 18 laps. Doesn't look, oh, Camara almost comes up on to the number 10 there of Tim Blum as they exited turn number 2. Blum backed it off. He's back to the high side. Camara to the bottom. Camara slides off turn 4. I don't think he's able to get back to the throttle. Look at the closing rate Tim Blum has. Now he's going to jet to the inside and see if he can make the 10 stick down there. He'll make Camara run the high lane here in turns 1 and 2.
And meanwhile, battling out for 9th is a 909 of Jesse Baker, trying to get to the inside of the 3 of Tony Strano. And it looks like he will not be able to complete the pass as he is getting a mirror full, the 901 of Dudley.
Yeah, it's not just a mirror full of Dudley. You got Mark Vaughn, Joshua Buckley. You also got Kyle Souza, 2 chase guys back here battling it out. And at the tail of this I say at the tail of this, but Patrick Orr came into the night 5 points to the good. Right now with heavy front end damage. I don't think the Orr machine is out there running at full song and dance. As you see, he's getting passed up there by the 83 of the Pennzoil Toyota, Jack Walls, as now here comes Patrick Orr back to the outside. But these guys are battling back here for the 20th spot. That's not where Patrick Orr wants to be here tonight. Don't worry, you're not missing anything out front. It's still Terriot, Butler, Murdoch, Camara, Blum. Your top 5. Nothing has changed out front there, as they're still watching to see where some of your other chase contenders are out the back of the field here. Kyle Souza is still running in your 15th spot. Joshua Buckley right there with him in 16th right now.
Joshua Buckley has been dropping back a little bit. I'm wondering if that damage is hurting his truck a little.
Is it the damage that's hurting him a little bit, or could he be playing, I'm going to save my truck here a little bit? He is in a kind of a sticky situation. Really should push towards the front. As look at the gaggle. They're all 2x2 right in front of him. The 3 there are Strano up the track, almost finding the turn 4 wall. As that allowed Jesse Baker to go through him. Slide job by Jesse Baker as he slid up the track. The 3 of Strano into the back bumper. Here comes Robert Dudley.
And as they dive down into turn 3, Dudley still under the 3 of Strano, and he won't be able to clear him coming off 4.
It looks like a lot of these trucks getting tight through the center off, as it almost was 3 wide down into turn number 1 there. Up the track this time is going to go Jesse Baker. That's going to allow Dudley to slide to the inside. So now can Dudley work around the 909 there of Baker as they work down into turns 3 and 4. 3 trucks, 3 different lines. There you had Baker in the middle, Dudley down on the bottom, Tony Strano running the upper groove here. Kyle Souza still running 1 position better than Josh Buckley. With 1 driver in the chase not making the event here tonight, Ethan Troutman at this point going to be the odd man looking out, or looking in, as, oh boy, this could have big chase implications, Jarrett. The 4, Kyle Souza going around, and there is a cloud of smoke following the rear of that number 4 machine. Let's take it back on the replay and see what we can find, as he was back there battling with one of the other chase contenders, the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. As this is the replay here, let's keep a close eye on the number 2 and the number 4. What happens between those 2 drivers down here in turn 1? Oh, it looks like Buckley got back to the throttle a little sooner than Kyle Souza. Souza went around with the little bump and found the outside walls. That's probably not what Joshua Buckley was trying to do there. I think he just got a little bit better of a run. Let's go on board here with the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. On board as they go down the front stretch into turn number 1. There is the 4 truck right in front of him, a Souza. You hear Buckley is way out of the throttle. And actually, I don't believe he even got back into the throttle at all before he found the rear bumper there, or the number 4, Kyle Souza. But Souza going to be the one that's probably just a little bit disappointed, as yellow flag pit stops are happening here. Looks like everybody coming down pit road except for 1 driver. That's the 184 here, Kevin O'Brien, as he stays out. Bruce Potter is officially out of the race here in the 59 machine. He'll be shown in your 25th position and out of the event here tonight. Eric Johnson did get his 1 lap back right now, then shown only 1 lap down. After Kevin O'Brien leading a lap, he's going to come down pit road. There you see the 33 of Eric Johnson as he's coming back down pit road to make his stop. So that'll hand the lead back over to Max Terriol. First time all your leaders coming down pit road. So we do like to thank everybody for tuning in here on a Monday night to watch the Red Light Scrambler series. This is round 2 of the playoffs. This is a cutoff race. 2 drivers going home tonight, and one of the chase drivers unable to make it. That's going to be Ethan Troutman. So right now the rookie of Troutman looking like he's going to be the odd man out here. So it's going to be a battle to see one driver might go home here tonight, and I believe he might be sitting down in pit road, which might be the number 4 of Kyle Souza. So that incident, Jarrett, really going to play a little, it's going to play taxing on the 4's heart here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. The man coming in here on the cut line, the 42 of Theriol, is doing everything he has to do right now to make sure he gets into that next round.
Yeah, and I'd say we get a word in with the 4 of Kyle Souza, but I don't think I see him out here at our disposal to get a word in with him. So we're up to see if we can catch up with the 4 of Kyle Souza at a later date. Right now, though, let's take a quick look and see where the lowest running chase driver is that's out there on track, and there he is. That's the 88 of Sean Butler. Maybe had a little bit of deflated tires on his pit stop and had to come back in, so he'll tag the rear of the field now. Josh Buckley is the second lowest running chase driver out there on track. He is running in your 11th position. Brandon Minto is running 6th with Tim Blum right ahead of him in 5th, and it's James Skelton. Richard Murdoch is up there in 2nd, and Max Terriault is doing everything he needs to do. Is out front. So we should get the 1 to go here this time by. So it'll be Terriault, Murdoch, Camara, Skelton, your top 4. Then it'll be Blum, Minto, Joe Strano, Jesse Baker, actually, Christopher Rothrock, and then Robert Dudley to round out the top 10. As I actually think we have one driver coming down pit road right now, so to kind of shuffle the tail of that top 10 order. So Terriault leading all 30 laps. Remember when Kevin O'Brien stayed out there to get a lap led? Unfortunately, Max Terriault came back around the track pretty quick there before Kevin O'Brien hit the stripe, so it looks like Kevin O'Brien not getting credited with a 1 lap led, but Max Terriault is. Jarrett, we're getting pretty close to the marker, though, that these drivers might be able to play some strategy if we come down to it. 95 laps to go, possibly only 1 more pit stop needed here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen multiple races this season that come down to fuel mileage and who can save it better.
Well, we're going to find out here as the iRacing pace car is down off the track. It's going to be Theriault Murdoch as the green flag waves once again here on lap 32. Back to green flag racing. Down into turn 1, it looks like Theriault got a good start, but here comes Murdoch. He's got the outside wound up as they're going door to door down into turn number 3. Here they come across the stripe. Murdoch, I believe, may have just nosed that out. No, Terriault going to be credited with another lap led, as this is the battle that is going on. Somebody around the 909, Jesse Baker, I believe, going around towards the back of the field. Jesse Baker will round off turn number 2. Not going to bring a caution flag out just yet. Let's see if it's gonna. No caution flag is going to wave. Jesse Baker going to go from inside the top 10 all by himself, getting spun around there out of turn number 2. And he's now shown back in your 21st spot. Richard Murdoch, as that all unfolded, though, made the outside lane work. He had the special staggered and matched tires there on the restart, and he went right around the outside. Oh, here goes Terriault. Terriault spinning off turn number 4. Terriault spinning down to the inside. We're trying to grab the 42 truck as he went around right in front of David Camara, as that is going to put now Max Terriault in one heck of a predicament going forward. Yellow flag is out there on this one. So let's throw her back here on the turn 3 racing replay and see that live. There's the 42. Max Terriault, as he's running in the 2nd position, goes to gas it up coming off turn 4. And actually, I believe David Camara may have actually got a little piece of that 42 machine. We're going to have to throw her back just a little bit and see if we can get on board with David Camara. Let's go on board with the 972. On board with the 3rd place runner before the caution flag waves here, David Camara. As you saw it actually doesn't crinkle the left front fender of David Camara's truck. But Max Terriel definitely has a little bit of damage done to the rear end. So Jarrett now with a strategy that Max Terriel needed, which was to pretty much go out here and have a good showing. What is he going to be looking to do going forward here tonight?
Well, he's obviously going to try and salvage as many points as he can, but I think his best bet is maybe hopefully his fuel strategy of some sort, and maybe try and pick up the win that way.
Looking at the 972 here, David Camara, is there any reports coming across the wire that David Camara has a ton of damage on that truck?
I'm not seeing anything here. He definitely tagged Theriol coming out of the corner.
Well, right now, David Camara going to stay out there with the clocks by Christopher Silverado, so he'll be shown in your second place. None of your leaders actually coming down pit road. Sean Butler, though, has been down pit road with the deflated Patriots 88 machine, but he's now back out, and a couple other drivers now electing to come down. So 7 drivers going to stay out here under this caution. Richard Murdoch, David Camara, Tim Blum, Brandon Minto, Joe Strano, Christopher Rothrock, Ryan Oldani, who is involved in that first little incident down there in turns 3 and 4. Then James Skelton will be the first one on new tires, lining up in the 8th spot. Sean Butler, then Tony Strano, rounding out the top 10. Well, Jarrett, we got a couple football fans out there in the chat. You want to tell them, since we're talking about the Patriots, I see a Redskins fan, even a Buffalo Bills fan. Who are you pulling for?
Between those three, or who is my favorite team?
Who would be your pick right now to put on the hood of one of these trucks?
Oh, well, obviously, Roger. I mean, it's got to be the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, nobody really cared what you had to say anyway, so, well, we're just going to throw that one out the window. We'll find somebody better than Jarrett next time to ask about football. But if you were Richard Murdoch, who do you think would be your quarterback of choice? And don't you dare say Tony Romo.
Well, Tony Romo would not be my quarterback of choice. But, not sure who Murdoch would choose.
Well, I'm sure Murdoch would probably choose somebody like Matty Ice, because he's got ice through his veins when he gets the 01 Tabasco machine out front, and he's there right now. The question is, can anybody come up and challenge him? We've seen him pretty good on these restarts. He was on the outside lane last time, and he got around the 42 with Max Terriol. Now we're going to see if he can line it back up here, if he's going to choose the inside or the outside lane. That'll be the question. And then what kind of speed will David Camara have? Tim Blum, we've seen him sideways a time or two, and he runs into 3rd position. Brandon Minto just kind of hanging out, having just a nice calm drive so far here tonight for the number 20 of Brandon Minto, shown in your 4th spot. Joe Strano, look at that, the 943 Joe Strano in your 5th spot. Then it's Christopher Rothrock, Ryan Oldani, James Skelton, Sean Butler will restart 9th with Tony Strano there in 10th. Well, Joe, I'm sorry he's a Cowboys fan. I don't really associate with Jarrett Reichard. You know, we're throwing his last name out there for all you fans that want to go over and find him on Facebook or Twitter and tell him exactly how you feel about the Cowboys. I'm along with you. I won't tell you, since, Joe, I see you're a Redskins fan. I won't tell you who I'm pulling for either. So, but let's just say it's good to be here in Pennsylvania. Jarrett, we're going to line them back up here for the restart. So as we get ready, it'll look like we're racing here on lap number 40, giving us quite a few laps. There's a long race still left here. 86 laps to go here when we take the green flag. Pace car down and away, and back to racing we go. Richard Murdoch did take the inside here. Is he going to be able to get away from David Camara is going to be the question here, and it looks like he gets a great start. Is Camara going to be able to hold the momentum to the top side? Murdoch going to slide up out of turn 2. He'll be in charge here. Now Tim Blum going to take to the inside here on David Camara down into turn 3. Can the 10 here, Tim Blum, come charging through the field? Brandon Minto takes over the 4th spot. As they work through turns 1 and 2, though, Tim Blum gonna still fight back here on David Camara. It's still the battle for second.
And the battle for fifth heating up, coming off 4 as Joe Strano tries to get by the 86 of James Skelton. He is getting passed on the outside by Sean Butler.
Well, Sean Butler may have put a little air in his tires, and now he has started to come back through the field. Showed him the 7th spot right now as he got to round Tony Strano and Joe Strano as he works back to the inside. It's still side-by-side battle, though, for this 2nd spot. And it's been that way since we took the drop of the green flag here just about 3 laps ago. Tim Blum still trying to work the inside here on David Camara, and both drivers giving each other plenty of room. Neither one of them trying to ruffle each other's feathers. They know it's still a long race. We're not even close to the halfway marker here. And neither of them wants to tear up either one's truck here, as it looks like David Camara are going to take away the spot over Tim Blum now, as Blum's going to fall back just a little bit. Christopher Rothrock is still battling, trying to get back around the 88 of Sean Butler. He looked to the inside, wasn't able to. Now he falls back in line there behind Sean Butler and right in front of Tony Strano. But Joe Strano is to the inside here on the 999 there of Jeff Hollingsworth back here. And there comes Max Terrell. He's trying to charge back through the field with 4 fresh tires.
Absolutely, as he works past the 943, Joe Strano coming down the back stretch into 3, looking to get past the 999 of Jeff Hollingsworth as they come off of 4.
Oh, looked like Tony Strano there for a moment had a big check up, and Jeff in the 999s had to take the invasive actions as he threw it down to the inside there on Tony Strano. Max Terrell right now nowhere to go for the driver of the 42. He thought about taking him straight up the middle as they run door to door in turns 3 and 4. Here comes the 42 to the inside. Going to be 3 wide off turn 4. Right now, Max Terrell being shown in the 9th position at the stripe, so he's back inside the top 10. But still a lot of work to do here. The night is not over.
And back up front, it looks like the 10 of Tim Blum has got past the 972 of Camara. And Camara trying to get it back, coming off of 4.
Yeah, here comes Tim Blum now that he has the 2nd position. Can he make up the 1 second gap that Richard Murdoch has built between himself and the 2nd place machine of Tim Blum? David Camara, though, still sitting right there hot on the heels of Tim Blum. All Blum did was he tried to work over David Camara on that restart, wasn't able to. Decided that he'd back off, cool the tires down, and make another charge. He made the charge. He's got the position now. So right now, your top 5 as we're sitting here on lap 49 here. It's Richard Murdoch, Tim Blum, David Camara, James Skelton, Sean Butler rounds out your top 5 drivers. You'd have to go all the way back here to the 17th, 16th spot. That's Ryan O'Danny and the 901 of Robert Dudley as they were battling side by side. Ryan O'Danny just not having the night that he wants. He was eliminated a couple weeks ago out of the chase contention, and now the driver of that 98 is just having probably some of the worst luck we've seen in a while for a lot of drivers, as that machine was beat up from lap number 1. As Robert Dudley still continuing to fall through the field. Here comes Ron Holyfield there in the 998 machine. Accessories by Chevy. So Ron Holyfield going to take over that 9th position. Sorry, Ron Holyfield's going to take over the 17th position. Let's take a quick look out front. There's Richard Murdoch. There is Tim Blum. Let's see if we can get a chopper camera and show you exactly how far out. There is the exact distance as right behind them. You saw James Skelton jump to the inside on David Camara. And inside lane, we've seen it work for some guys. We've seen it not work for others. James Skelton gonna really send her down there. He's gonna drive the 972 of Camara up the track, and that's going to allow the 88 of Sean Butler to close right on the back bumper of both of them. Oh, door slammed down into turn 1. James Skelton. David Camara made contact. Camara way up the track. He's going to lose both positions to not only James Skelton, but Sean Butler. Now here comes Max Terrell trying to come knocking on the back door yet, too.
And as they come out of 4, Sean Butler trying to get around James Skelton as they come down the front stretch into 1.
And as Butler's trying to find the back bumper of the 86, David Camara is trying to just stay ahead of the 42 of Max Terrell right now. A lot of these guys on different strategies. Your front 2 drivers of Murdoch and Blum, who are still separated by just about a second gap between the 2 of them. They're out there on 26-lap-old, 27-lap-old tires now. James Skelton, Sean Butler has a big moment there for Max Terriel. But they are out there on 19-lap-old tires. And then Max Terriel, he's got the freshest tires of them all. 16 laps on the 42's tires, and now he finds himself inside the top 5 as David Camara is starting to slide backwards in that Clocks by Christopher machine.
And back here for the 10th spot, we have about 6 cars, and they're 3 wide coming off of 4.
3 wide for a moment off turn number 4. Tony Strano leads this little pack of cars. Then it's Jeb Hollingsworth back here, and that's the 33. That's Eric Johnson. He's still shown 2 laps down, and there's one of your Shays contenders right there. The number 2, Joshua Buckley and Patrick Orr, both back here, 12th and 13th position. They don't really want to see guys side by side in front of them because they saw it happen in the early going, and both those drivers are actually involved in that first accident. That's the reason they are back here, is the 2 almost into the back of the 999s. They are racing really hard right outside of the top 10, just trying to work themselves through the field. The 3 of Tony Strano almost up into the wall. The 33 of Johnson going to get around him. Now here comes that 999 machine of Jeff Hollingsworth. So as Tony Strano continues to lose positions, Joshua Buckley has now got around him. Mark Vaughn also trying to get around the number 3 here of Tony Strano. Patrick Orr still chomping at the bit behind them, but let's take a quick look because that lead that's up front, it's starting to diminish. Tim Blum has started to really reel in. Only about 4 truck lengths now between Richard Murdoch and Tim Blum. James Skelton still sitting back there in 3rd. He's trying to pull along the 88 of Sean Butler, as there are actually all of those drivers right now. Your whole top 5 is starting to pull back. Richard Murdoch. Did Murdoch burn the tires off here too fast on this green flag stint? There you see it. Now Tim Blum is to the back bumper on Richard Murdoch, but now he has to find a way around him. Murdoch leaves the inside open just a little bit. Blum decided to peek, but that was just to let Murdoch know, hey, I'm right here if you make the mistake, as now Tim Blum going to go to the outside here in turn 3 and 4 to try and get some momentum. He gets the momentum. He's going to dive underneath Murdoch at the line. Murdoch had it for the moment at the line, but down into turn number 1, new leader, Tim Blum. As not for long, here comes Richard Murdoch right back to the inside in turn 3. He's not going to be able to put the power down, though. Tim Blum going to continue to lead here from the Iowa Speedway. Richard Murdoch losing a little bit of ground as now he's back into James Skelton's clutches. Here comes the 86, trying to now take away the 2nd position. He has caught him, but catching a driver and passing a driver is one thing. We've seen James Skelton, though, being probably one of the only drivers able to really run the bottom groove with success, as now he finds himself all over Richard Murdoch. Murdoch up the track in turns 1 and 2. That's going to allow James Skelton to work to the inside. Murdoch allowed James Skelton to work his way through, and now Skelton up the track. Murdoch to the back bumper. He checks up. Murdoch almost running over the 86. James Skelton there on the exit of turn 4.
And as those 2 battle coming off of 2, that allowed the 88 of Butler to close right up on the back of Murdoch as he tries the outside coming through 3 and 4.
Up the track that time out of turn number 4, going to be the 88 of Sean Butler. Looks like David Camara has decided to pack up the 972 Clocks by Christopher machine. He will head off to the next event here. Not a chase contender, so it looks like we have 3 drivers for the time being out of the event. David Camara packing up the Clocks by Christopher machine. Jesse Baker is out of the race here, along with Bruce Potter, who did not take the initial drop of the green flag. Kyle Souza still sits on pit road for the last 21 minutes. Right now shown 40 laps down. That's unfortunate end to a lot of those drivers tonight as Murdoch has fallen back to the 3rd position. Here comes Sean Butler. Butler going to dive the Patriots 88 machine down to the inside, and actually, I'm not sure. Maybe there was contact there. I saw a lot of lagging, a little bit of a glitch out of the 01 of Murdoch. I don't see any damage done to either one of those machines, but I did see a bunch of smoke as they were side by side last time by in turns 3 and 4. This time by, not side by side, but Sean Butler going to drive up the track just a little bit to get the run off turn 4.
And as they battle, the 42 of Theriault is really closing in on them.
As Theriault, like Jarrett said, continues to close the gap. Now Sean Butler back to the inside here on Richard Murdoch. Can he clear him? No, the truck gets tight. They're not able to get back to the throttle. Now here comes Theriault as he's onto the back bumper there with the 88 at the start-finish line. But he releases off the back bumper as they go down into turns 1 and 2. There you see Theriault down to the bottom. Butler about a half truck length off the bottom groove. Then it's Murdoch. Murdoch was running about the middle groove down there in 1 and 2. This time down here in 3 and 4. There goes the 01 down to the bottom. Sean Butler going to run the top side. The 42 of Theriault then going to run the bottom also.
And back here fighting for the 8th and 7th position, the man coming in below the cut line, the number 2 of Buckley, up into 8th as he's working towards 7th.
Yeah, right behind that, almost a little contact down into turn number 1. Christopher Rothrock battling with the 919 there of Mark Vaughn as they're battling pretty hard for that 9th and 10th position. As they battle hard, though, Jack Walls has started to close the gap there back in 11th. Right now, he's just over a half a second back there in the 83 machine, trying to close his way into a top 10 finish. Rothrock with a big wiggle off turn number 2. He catches that truck. He's able to keep her pointed in the right direction, but he lost a lot of ground there from Mark Vaughn, as now here comes Jack Walls to the outside. Walls going to run the outside here in turns 1 and 2. The Rothrock's going to run the bottom, and he's going to give way. He knows right now Jack Walls has the quicker truck as the tires on the Rothrock machine a little heated up. No battling, nothing has changed through your top 5 drivers. It's still Blum, Skelton, Murdoch, Butler, and Theriault, your top 5. Brandon Minto runs just outside the top 5 right there all by himself, kind of stuck in no man's land. 3 seconds behind Tim Blum, and then it's another 2.5 seconds back till you find Joe Strano, and I believe here comes Brandon Minto. Green flag pit stops here on lap 75. Going to start here with the 20 truck of Brandon Minto. Look possibly next time by for either Joe Strano or Richard Murdoch. Here comes Ryan O'Danny. He's coming down pit road also. So as the green flag pit stops start to happen, Tim Blum finds himself out front and trying to run away with this one.
It looks like the 88 of Butler has gotten by the 01 of Murdoch, as he's got a mirror full of the 42 coming off of 2.
Yeah, the tire difference there of 8 laps between Murdoch and Butler might be playing a havoc here. Look for Richard Murdoch to be down pit road. It's actually your leader, Tim Blum, down pit road here on lap 77. So with 49 laps still to go, Tim Blum thinks he might be able to make it if he pits right here if we stay green flag racing. That's the strategy we talk about week in and week out. Joe Strano also sitting down pit road. Todd Cray is down pit road. Handful of drivers down here getting possibly what could be their final pit stops. James Skelton going to continue to lead the way, though, here. It's going to put Tim Blum 1 lap down. Murdoch is down pit road, and I believe we have a caution flag out there on track. Not sure quite who it is, as I don't see anybody really pointed in the wrong direction. As green flag pit stops were happening. Trying to see where that yellow flag was brought out by. Getting word that it might be Mark Vaughn who has gone around. Let's check back here and see what we find here with, that's not Mark Vaughn there, that's Robert Dudley. There's Mark Vaughn as he was battling to the inside on the 2. Joshua Buckley, who may be just a little far back here. Let's see, though, down into turn 1. It looks pretty clean here for Mark Vaughn. Let's just keep our eyes peeled right here for the time being. All looks good once they looks like the 919 goes to come down pit road. Oh, and he just misses pit road. And for some reason, the truck went dead right as he went to go refire that machine on oncoming traffic. So it looks like a single truck spin. And this is really going to start to shuffle the field. As we were talking, green flag pit stops were happening. So it looks like a lot of our drivers will get their wave around here. As well, we're going to have to see, because Kevin O'Brien is actually still out there on track. So that might trap a driver or two a lap down. We're going to have to wait and see how the timing and scoring, but we can tell you, Sean Butler just came out of pit road. He will lead them out of pit road, the first driver with 4 fresh tires and fuel. Then it's James Skelton, Max Terriot. Brandon Minto right now has shown that he had stayed out, as he will now come down pit road, as he, remember, was the first one to come down pit road under green flag. That's going to move Jack Walls now inside the top 5, so we're waiting to see how that all shuffles through in the timing and scoring, because now Kevin O'Brien is down pit road. So, an interesting strategy is being played here. Well, let's see real quick if we can get a word in with driver of that 919. Mark Vaughn, you got a copy. It's Roger here in the booth. Mark Vaughn, it's Roger up here in the booth. You got a copy over here on the TeamSpeak side of things? Well, it doesn't look like we quite have communications with driver of the 919, but we're see if we can reestablish communications with Mark Vaughn, as he's right now shown in the 10th spot. The man who, though, is shown out front, that's the Patriots Toyota 88 of Sean Butler. Second is going to be James Skelton with Max Terriot, Jack Walls there in 4th. Jeff Hollingsworth in 5th. Ron Holyfield up into your 6th spot with Robert Dudley in 7th. Patrick Orr is right now shown 8th. Mark Vaughn is 9th. Kevin O'Brien is shown in your 10th spot. Then it's Joshua Buckley, Brandon Minto, Leo Bordage, Richard Murdoch, Tim Blum, Christopher Rothrock. Those are all your drivers on the lead lap for the time being. Strategy, strategy, strategy. From this point forward, Jarrett, you can really make it on fuel.
Yeah, everybody should be able to make it on fuel and tires. It's gonna get interesting here, Roger.
So interesting it will be. Every lap with the Red Light Scrambler Series becomes interesting. The question is, who's going to win tonight? Sean Butler's locked himself in, but what will James Skelton or what will Max Terriot do for a win? As you see a couple of those drivers like Tim Blum actually getting waved around the pace truck now. They'll get back on the lead lap, so that's Ryan O'Danny. He'll get 1 lap back. Christopher Rothrock coming around the pace car with Tim Blum, so that'll put them to the tail end of the lead lap. That's how they're going to line up, though. Butler, Skelton, Terriot, Walls, Hollingsworth, Holyfield, Dudley, Orr, Vaughn, then Murdoch, your top 10. We're about to set them loose once again here on lap 84. And from this point forward, it could just be who could make it to the finish line first. If we get the green flag run, there's the pace car down and away. It's going to let the field into Sean Butler's hands. And there the green is. Green flag is waving. Look at all those cars, those trucks that were kind of waved around as, oh, we're going to have to keep an eye out. I believe the 10 of Blum may have jumped out of line a little early before the start-finish line. Well, right now we're green flag racing. Sean Butler's away clean along with James Skelton. Max Terriel to snag that third spot. Then it's Jack Walls, and right behind them, 2 drivers battling hard. Jeff Hollingsworth to the outside, or to the inside there of Ron Holyfield, who that's the battle for the 5th and 6th spot. That kind of fizzles out pretty quick. Holyfield going to have the 5th spot. Hollingsworth going to get the 6th spot. Then it's Dudley behind them, Orr and Vaughn.
And the 01 of Murdoch is charging through the field as he's already up to about the 9th position coming out of 4.
Yeah, as Richard Murdoch battles to the outside there on Mark Vaughn. He's going to get around, and how about here comes Tim Blum. Blum has a little bit older tires than Murdoch, but now it seems like the 10 of Tim Blum has something to prove as he wants to get back to the front, as he was trapped a lap down there by that yellow flag that was brought out, a single car spin. As now Tim Blum is shown in your 10th spot. Christopher Rothrock also trying to get around Mark Vaughn back here, who's running in your 11th spot. Caution flag waving once again. Joshua Buckley to the infield as he stops it before he winds it up into the infield wall. So as he's in the grass, let's throw her back here. We know it's Joshua Buckley who's gone around. Let's see, this is one lap prior to what happened to the number 2 here, Joshua Buckley. Looks like Josh Buckley running all by himself here, coming down the backstretch, down into 3. A lot of damage actually done to the front nose of that number 2. It looks like he tried to get back to the throttle a little sooner than the truck's tires were ready for as he made the spin. Yellow flag came out. He ended up getting the 2 woed up before the inside wall, so no harm, no fouls. We're just re-rack them, reset them here. Sean Butler is still the leader. The question will be, will he come down pit road here? And there's the question. Sean Butler going to stay out. Looks like James Skelton, though, going to be, the first taker to come down pit road. And then it looks like the next 6 drivers going to stay out until Patrick Orr coming down pit road. And Mark Vaughn going to duck back out onto the track. So, whole bunch of different strategies. Orr, Murdoch, Blum, Rothrock, Bordage, Minto, Buckley all down pit road here on lap 89. We're going to step away for just a moment. We'll be back to bring you more Red Light Scrambler action here. It's the cutoff race for round 2 of the chase.
Coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
welcome back here to Iowa. The pace car lights are off. Sean Butler, Max Terriel got the front spots here on this restart. Then it's going to be the 83 of Jack Walls, Ron Holyfield, Jeff Hollingsworth, Robert Dudley, Mark Vaughn. All those drivers electing to stay out here under this yellow. Then it's Richard Murdoch, James Skellin, and Brandon Minto rounding out the top 10, and they got 4 fresh Goodyears. So it's going to be knock them out, drag them out here. 33 laps to go once we drop the green flag and things. If they weren't already wild enough here from Iowa tonight with the chase implications that have been going on, it's about to get even wilder. What can Jack Walls do now that he's got inside the top 5 with the 83 Pennzoil machine? We're about to find out, because there goes the iRacing pace car. Green flag is waving. And we are gonna try and finish this one under the green flag condition here, as Butler got a great start. Terriel, not so much, because here comes the 83 Jack Walls to the inside. Can Walls put the power down there in that Toyota Tundra? Doesn't look like it. Max Terriel looks like he's going to have the momentum there in turns 3 and 4. But Jack Wall is going to slide up right in front of Ron Holyfield. Right now, your top 6 drivers have single filed out. You got to go back here to the 7th spot for the time being. That's going to be Robert Dudley side by side there with Mark Vaughn for the 6th, 7th position. That's actually Dudley into the outside wall coming out of turn 2. That could have been big, because right behind them, look, that's James Skellin and Richard Murdoch with fresh tires. As Dudley is up the track sideways, Patrick Orr into the Dudley machine. Turn 4, Calamity Corner here tonight is actually Christopher Rothrock and Patrick Orr both also involved, as Patrick Orr is pointed in the wrong direction in that Snickers machine. No caution is thrown. Patrick Orr going to try and get back out onto the track, as it looks like he's going to refire the truck. He does spin her around it. He's going, but he's lost a lot of positions. That's going to put him, the last chase contender, running on the lead lap back in 17th spot. Sean Butler leads the way right now, about a half-second lead over Max Terriel. Jack Walls about a second back, and then it's a whole gaggle of cars. Holyfield, Hollingsworth, Vaughn, Skelton, Murdoch, Buckley, Blum is in your top 10 now. Brandon Minto still on the outside looking in. Kevin O'Brien, though, he's back here still hanging out here in that Falcon Silverado 184 machine. He's led a couple of laps here tonight. Right now finds himself with actually a fairly clean, I say fairly clean, and I mean absolutely clean, as Murdoch is around off turn 4. Richard Murdoch goes for a spin in the number 01 Tabasco Silverado. That'll put us back under caution here on lap 98. Well, let's take the replay back, because it looks like Murdoch has quite a bit of damage now on the rear deck lid of the 01 machine. Let's go find out where Richard Murdoch got that damage from. There you see the 2 of Buckley is just behind the Murdoch 01. Oh, actually, it looks like Murdoch kind of just lost it all by himself. Tried to gas it up coming off turn 4. Buckley may have got just a little piece of that. Let's see if we can throw her back here. Find the 2 of Buckley and go on board with Joshua Buckley. That's Murdoch right in front. You see Murdoch's truck goes sideways, and no, maybe not even really any contact between Josh Buckley and Richard Murdoch. To throw it back here one more time, and let's see from overhead here if we can find if there was any contact between the 2 of Josh Buckley and the 01 of Richard Murdoch. If Murdoch was sideways off 4. There you see it, maybe just a slight little net code tap, because there's definitely damage on the front nose of the number 2 now, and that rear deck lid there on the 01 of Murdoch. So it looks like everybody coming back down pit road. Kevin O'Brien going to roll the dice once again in that Falcon Silverado. He'll stay out here. He's going to take over the lead. And then it's going to be a race off pit road. Going to be the 88 of Sean Butler coming out of pit road first. And it's going to be Tim Blum, Max Terriel, Ron Holyfield. Looks like he just snuck out of there ahead of Jeff Hollingsworth. Mark Vaughn, James Skellin, and then Brandon Minto. That is your top 10 as Jack Walls, I believe, actually may have got a speeding penalty, so he's going to have to drop to the back of the longest line here. And here comes Kevin O'Brien. He'll now hand back over the lead to Sean Butler.
Tim Blum gained a lot of positions coming off pit road. I'm wondering if he only did a 2-tire stop.
Yeah, let's take a look here into the Sneaky's track, or into the Sneaky stats here. Taking a look at it, it does look like the 10 of Tim Blum. Not trying to give the secrets away for Tim Blum here, but as loose track conditions out there, Jared, is 2-tire stop going to be a handful to hold on to here?
No, I believe that's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah, bold strategy being played here by Tim Blum. Remember, coming into tonight, he was the last place driver on the cut line, so he's going to have to throw all the stops out here and try and come home with a good finish. As he'll restart in a good spot. He'll restart second position here, but Max Terriault, Max Terriault there in third, then Ron Holyfield. Right now showing Tony Strano, but Strano was the wave around truck, so he'll come down and make his pit stop now, and then he will rejoin the rear of the field. So just taking a peek through, it looks like 19 drivers on the lead lap. The last man on the lead lap will be Ryan O'Danny, as he'll actually get the wave around. That's how he's back on the lead lap. Look at that, the Ford truck, Kyle Souza, back out there on track right now, showing 59 laps down. He could possibly pick up 2 positions before the end of this one, as David Camara is out of the event, shown 22nd right now, and the 922 of Todd Cray is also out of the event. He is shown in the 21st spot. Eric Johnson right now is the only driver that is still rolling around, other than Kyle Souza, number of laps down. He's been laps down since the drop of the green. He's right there in the black 33 truck. Eric Johnson shown 3 laps down. Remember, something with the initial drop of the green flag, he was shown already 2 laps down, now shown 3 laps down. So you should see all these drivers get the wave by this time by. 3 trucks around the pace car. As there they go. So Sean Butler, Tim Blum going to lead us back to green flag racing. So it'll be 22 laps to decide who is going to walk out of this round of the playoffs into the next one. We already know the 88's on to the next round, but then it's really a heads-up, drag them out kind of style back here for everybody, because they were separated all the way from third position all the way to the last transfer spot was only a 7-point gap, so it was anybody's ball game out there. Well, with only I thought we were going green flag racing last time by. It looks like we got one more lap under caution here, so 21 laps will be the target here to make it the rest of the way. Well, we do like to thank everybody for tuning in out there on YouTube tonight. It's Monday night. It's the Red Light Scrambler Series right here on your Turn 3 Racing Network. Go ahead, hit the thumbs up. The Red Light Scrambler Series appreciates all of you tuning in here on Monday night, and as do we here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Go ahead and hit that little bell, get the notifications anytime myself here, Muth in the Booth, goes live. Or, well, how about K.R. Stolfus? He does a couple of nights a week over here. How about Chris Legou, or maybe even Danny Valenzuela? You can catch a handful of those guys coming up right after the Red Light Scrambler Series right here on your Turn 3 Racing Network. But don't go anywhere, because right now it's going to be Sean Butler, Tim Blum, Max Terriault, Ron Holyfield, your top 4 positions here, battling it out to the end of this one. As they work through turn 4, you should see the iRacing pace car right there get off the banking, because we know these trucks are faster than that Mustang. And green flag is out, and we're going to go green flag racing here. Just over 20 laps to go in this event here is side by side. We're going to see how those 2 tires work out here for Tim Blum. Goes down into the corner. Not able to stay onto that quarter panel of Sean Butler. Butler going to be away. He'll have the lead, and it'll be Blum, then Terriault. And here comes Ron Holyfield trying to get to the inside here on Max Terriault. Terriault runs a little bit higher line. He'll carry the momentum off the corner. At the line, though, here to get the 20 to go marker It's going to be Sean Butler, Tim Blum out front.
And as they come out of 2, the 86 of Skelton is working on the 119, the 919, sorry, of Mark Vaughn as they come off of 4.
Yeah, Mark Vaughn's had an up and down night as, James Skelton was sideways off turn number 4. He gathered up the 86 machine, but how about the man that's right behind him? Is that Joshua Buckley? Just remember a handful of laps ago, Buckley was spinning through the grass on the infield, now finds himself battling inside the top 8 positions. Right now, Buckley finds himself 7th and in a good spot here to move on. Here comes Murdoch, though. He's got fresh tires, and he is gunning for the top spots.
As they dive down turn 1, the 01 of Murdoch trying to work on the 20 of Minto. And as he's trying to do that, the 3 of Strano coming on the outside.
Yeah, Strano into the outside wall there out of turn number 2. He kept it into the wall and out of the side of the 01 of Murdoch, so we're going to stay green flag racing. 18 laps to go here from Iowa, 17 laps to go that time by at the line. It's still Butler, then Blum, then Terriot, Holyfield, and Hollingsworth, your top 5 drivers. This is the battle just outside the top 10. That's Joe Stranda to the inside there on the 01 of Richard Murdoch. Right now, though, Josh Buckley is running in your 7th position. Patrick Orr running out there. It's been a rough night here for the Snickers driver. Right now, Orr is still out there running at 13th on the lead lap. Heavy damage on the Snickers machine, but it is still making left-hand turns here tonight.
Meanwhile,
Minto. Look at that right there. Minto side by side with Vaughn.
just about to say, Roger, the number 20 of Minto has that truck wound up on the outside, and he is going.
He's not only going by himself, but here comes the 01 of Murdoch. Murdoch saw how the 20 went to the top side there, made it work for himself, and he ventured to go up there with him. But now everybody else that saw Brandon Minto go up there and do it, well, there's Murdoch up there doing it. Here comes Joe Strano. Now Murdoch going to dive to the inside there at the start-finish line. See if he can take away the 8th position from Minto. Down into turn 1 they go. Side-by-side battle through the middle. Still side-by-side off. Who's going to have the better truck off the corner? For the time being, it looks like the Minto machine on the outside, but Murdoch really drives the 01 down there. Can he slide up? Not enough room to slide up. The 20 of Brandon Minto going to have the outside momentum once again at the line.
And as they dive down in turn 1, Minto's still running the outside, trying to keep that momentum up, coming off of 2, and he can't quite clear the 01 going into 3.
Yeah, this is one heck of a battle back here for the 8th and 9th position between Murdoch and Minto, and they're going to do it once again off turn 4. Saw a little bit of smoke out in front of them. Not sure who that was. Actually, it might be right behind them. Joe Strano might be blinking just a little bit. Nothing has changed at the front of the field. It's still Butler, Blum, Terriot, Holyfield, your top 4 positions. James Skelton actually has got around Jeff Hollingsworth for the 5th position, but this is really where the battle is at right now. It's back here for the 8th position. Minto still has it. Murdoch still wants it. Joe Strano wants one of them to figure out who's going where, because he's going to try and fill the hole and go with him. Let's check it back out front here. Where is Sean Butler? Where is Tim Blum? There is Max Terriot. There are 3 trucks under the blanket with 10 laps to go here from Iowa. Butler knows he's in, but now the question is, can Tim Blum or Max Terriot come up and snag a win here? Because remember, Terriot was on the outside looking in, and now he's looking to the inside here on Tim Blum. Not going to be able to stick the 42 down there. Remember, Terriot took a spin in the early going here tonight. Looks down to the inside once again there in turns 1 and 2. Was not able to keep the momentum up off turn 2. So that allowed Tim Blum to take back his position. Richard Murdoch back to the inside here on the 20 of Brandon Minto once again. He wants the 8th position, probably worse than you and I want some ice cream right now, as he is starting to come back to the front.
And back up front, Theriot had a nose out in front of Blum coming off the 2, and Blum keeps the momentum up by him down the backstretch.
Back down into turns 3 and 4. They were side by side off turn 4 once again. Terriot to the inside, sideways just a little bit that time off 4. That little wiggle allowed Tim Blum to have the position. I don't know if the man out front's playing possum right now, but Sean Butler has got run down by actually both of those drivers. He's just not able to really get away as he got away for a little bit, and then they ran it back down. As this time down to the 3. Blum is way up the track. He's going to be able to carry the momentum, I think, but here comes Max Terriol fighting back. There you see it, 6 laps to go, and this is the battle for the lead. Let's stick it right here for the time being, because this could have chase implications if something would happen here inside your top 3 with 6 laps to go. Terriol just not able to put the power down. If he could just get underneath the 10 in the center of the corner and maybe drive him up the track just a little bit to get the power down, but he just can't quite get there.
Yeah, that high line really has come in this late in the race.
With the older tires, the late race, the track temp is up to 78 degrees. It's the hottest the track temp has been all night long here in Iowa. Just like the temperature, or the tempers are rising here. 4 laps to go, and it's the battle for second. I think maybe if Terriol could just get around the 10 here on Blum, he might be able to run down Sean Butler here in the late goings, but the laps are starting to really wind down. Here he comes once again off turn number 4. Terriol might have a good run this time. Can he turn down under the 10? No, run gone. Lost the front end off turn 4 as he's still in the tire tracks here of the 10 of Tim Blum. Brandon Minto, though, is up the track. It looks like he was out of the groove there just a little bit down into turn 1. He'll give the position to Richard Murdoch, and Joe Strano is now to the inside here trying to get around the Minto machine. Let's check it back out front, though, at the line. We're going to get 2 to go. Popsicle sticks in the air. Sean Butler trying to win another one here right out in front of Tim Blum and Max Terriol, who's still battling hard for that second position. As they work their way out of turn number 4 for the 124th time. I almost wanted to say the last time, but that's not the last time. Now the white flag is waving. Sean Butler on his last lap here. Could Sean Butler possibly pick up the 6th win of the year? Back-to-back wins. Driver of the 88 dives it down into turn number 3 and 4. As you see Tim Blum really sail that number 10 machine down there. He's going to be able to, though, gather it up and finish second. Coming across the line, P number 1, back-to-back wins. Sean Butler wins from Iowa. Tim Blum is second. Max Terriol comes home third, did exactly what he needed tonight. James Skelton rallies back for a top 5 position. But how about the rookie out there, Ron Holyfield, coming home in the 5th spot. Josh Buckley also rallying after being caught up in lap 1, turn 3 incident, comes home 6th. Jeff Hollingsworth comes home 7th. A disappointing finish for Richard Murdoch back there in your 8th spot. Joe Strano finishes 9th. Brandon Minto is 10th. Mark Vaughn coming home in 11th. Jack Walls is 12th. Tony Strano 13th. Robert Dudley 14th. Patrick Orr with a disappointing 15th place finish with his Snickers 81 machine. Kevin O'Brien played it safe tonight, as there you see the 88 of Butler burning her down, but O'Brien coming home 16th. Leo Bordage after that turn 3 lap 1 spin comes home 17th. Ryan O'Danny also wrapped up in that. He comes home 18th. Christopher Rothrock 19th. Coming home 20th, going to be the 33 of Eric Johnson. Todd Cray 21st. Kyle Souza picked up another position after spending, I think it was right around 40 minutes down pit road to put a new motor in the number 4. He comes home 22nd, but he might be the odd man looking out here tonight. David Camara comes home 23rd after battling inside the top 5 most of the night. Jesse Baker had an early exit. Comes home 24th and not making the calls to the grid here tonight, the 59 of Bruce Potter. So as we watch Sean Butler do a little bit of celebrating there, a little bit of a Polish victory lap, we're going to step away for just a moment. We're going to see if we can get a word in with Max Terriol, Tim Blum, Sean Butler. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Red Light Scrambler Series post-race show on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Iowa, it was round 2 of the playoffs. It was a cutoff race. You saw Max Terriot come into the night below the cutoff line, had to have a good showing, and well, he did exactly what he needed to do tonight. Max Terriot, you come home third here tonight, finishing right where you needed to knock or lock yourself into the next round of the playoffs. Were you worried coming into tonight here in Iowa?
Some unexpected incidents happened and put us back in the field late in the race. So I was just hoping that with 20 to go, we wouldn't have any more cautions. And fortunately, it was clean till the end. So it's a good third place finish for the points, that's for sure.
Yeah, you started up front here tonight on the pole for yourself. What were you thinking, though, when you were running inside the top 3 there and the 42 truck just can't lose coming off at turn number 4? You had to fall all the way back to right around the 20th position at one point and work your way through the field. Did you think when you spun out, your night was pretty much over from that point on?
Not really, because I kept the car off the wall, the truck off the wall, so it helped. And since it was really early in the race, there were almost 80 or 90 laps left. I felt like even if we went green, I could progressively take the spots back and hopefully for maybe a top 5. But yeah, that spin just came out of nowhere. That was the first time tonight that I ran behind someone else, and off of 4 it just went loose without warning. And it's a good thing that I spun inside, nobody hit me, because it could have been worse.
Yeah, it definitely could have been worse, but hey, congratulations on a third place finish. Now, with you being, or should be moving on here to the next round of things, we're going to leave Iowa. It's a little short track here. How do you feel about going over to Homestead, where you can pretty much run these trucks wide open anywhere on the track?
Yeah, I don't know which car or truck we were running next week. I didn't look at the schedule. In the past, Homestead's been good to me. A couple of seasons ago, we finished the season off there and I won the race, so hopefully I can have the same kind of success. And who knows, it happens so fast with these races the last few weeks that we'll just have to drive down there and see how it goes.
Well, once again, congratulations here, Max Terriot. Before we pull the rug out from underneath you here and pull the microphone away, who do you got to thank for your third place finish here from Iowa?
I'll thank my girlfriend and my friend Max at Meximenting, probably watching from somewhere in Canada or US. And a good job to Tim and Sean. They were really fast. And Josh, James, and Richard for running the league. And for you guys at Turn 3, putting on a great show on YouTube.
Well, there you heard it from your third place finisher. Started on the pole tonight, needed to lock himself into the chase, needed to have a good run here and put himself to the next round, and that's exactly what Max Terriot did. He came home third place finish here tonight, so he should be moving on to the next round of the playoffs. And the man that's going to join him in the next round of the playoffs, Jared, I believe you caught up with driver of the number 10, comes home in your second spot.
Yes, I am here with the number 10 of Tim Blum, coming home second tonight. Tim, bit of an up and down day. You're up at the front, back in the back of the pack, and eventually you finished the second. Tell us how your night went.
Yeah, it was a good night. I was sort of in the same position as Max. We both had late race issues in New Hampshire, put us behind, so we both needed good races. So I didn't know what I had. I didn't practice much, didn't qualify too well, and got caught in on pit road during a yellow sequence there and got put behind. Had to get the wave around and had to get a little creative to get back up into the top 3 there, and I was able to hold on to it.
Yes, you definitely did get creative there with that pitch strategy, and it obviously worked out for your second place finish. Who would you like to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank my sister. I think she's watching at home, and my niece, and my dad's watching. And I think my buddy Will, he tunes in every now and then. He tries to catch it as often as he can. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to Full Throttle. They were the ones giving me the idea on the 2 tires there. So that worked out. It was a team effort with Richard, Brandon, and Ryan. And thanks to Turn 3 for putting it all on.
Absolutely, strategy worked out for you. And what do you think of the next track as we move to the round 8 at Homestead in the trucks?
Homestead and the trucks. Is it the trucks? I don't know. Should be a good one. Max is always a threat there. Like he said, he won the championship there. It's going to be your normal cast of characters that you got to run up against the wall out of turn 4 there, and there's some kind of magic way to hit it. And Sean and James and Max, they've got it down. So look for all those guys up front next week.
Definitely should be a great race next week. Well, Tim, congratulations on your second place finish, and we'll see you next week at Homestead. And Roger has caught up with our winner tonight.
Yeah, I caught up with the guy who goes back-to-back in the playoffs here for the round of 10, the second round of the playoffs. He won last week at New Hampshire. He does it once again here from Iowa. Sean Butler, man, how do you do it? You park the 88 in Victory Lane back-to-back weeks.
I think you're mistaken. Back-to-back-to-back. No. Yeah, it was a... Man, just coming into these chases, seems like I get more focused, and I just seem to make some really good calls. And I got behind on a pit road speeding penalty, and then we had a quick caution, and I come in and took 2 tires for strategy, and was able to drive back up towards the front there, and then some more cautions, just making the right calls, and just great stops on pit road get me out front, and was able to stay out there once I did.
Well, this guy got to come with all the facts. He did correct us here. He did win back at Texas and New Hampshire and now in Iowa. But this isn't the first time, Sean, you've gone back to back to back. You did it at Kentucky early in the year, Michigan, and Darlington. And can you tell me where you finished then the next week at Myrtle Beach?
Oh, that race, yeah. I think I finished dead last.
Well, see? The
You just never know what's going to happen.
The driver of the 88 wants to correct us here in the booth, and we do stand corrected. But hopefully, Sean, after parking it in Victory Lane here tonight, it seemed like it was a pretty easy race for yourself. Walk us through the race. Was there any point when you were running back there in 21st position, did you think possibly it was going to be too much to overcome?
Yeah, if it had stayed green, I don't know what would have happened. And then, I think I was going to be able to drive up in there. I probably would have got easily in the top 10, but then, once you start getting up there, it just gets harder and harder to pass. And then, like I said, just got lucky with a caution and was able to come in and get 2 tires and make up some positions, and just able to fortunately follow my teammate James up through there, and then he left me. I couldn't get past Richard. So all in all, it's just a great night for us and our team, and hopefully we can go into next week and one of us can get another win and punch our way to the final.
Yeah, only a handful of races left, 3 races to be exact. You got Homestead next week on August the 26th, then you go over to the Bristol Motor Speedway, you hop into the Cup car on September 9th, and then it's a week off, I believe, until we head over to the Charlotte Motor Speedways to finish things off in the Xfinity car on September the 16th. What one out of those 3 races are you possibly looking to... Maybe my calendar is wrong. But out of those 3 races coming up here, which one are you looking forward to the most?
I would say Bristol. I really like Bristol. And the A car, right? It's a different beast there. It actually gets a little loose. It's kind of fun. Probably next week with the trucks at Homestead is probably the one I'm least looking forward to. I don't seem to be able to have the long running speed that some of these guys have at Homestead. It's one of those tracks I just can't seem to hold on to the tires. So try to work with my teammates this week and see if we can get that figured out, and hopefully we can put on a good show this week too.
You put on one heck of a show here from Iowa, so we're going to give you the floor here real quick to give the shout outs that help that Patriots number 88 machine.
Like I said, my teammates Joshua and James over at Need for Speed. Like I said, we always work hard, try to practice and try to get some more speed, try to get us all around up in the front. Fortunately, Buckley had a little bit of an issue tonight, but James was able to rebound just like most of us up there and come home with a solid 4th. Give a shout out to a couple friends watching at home, Skittles and Becca. And then shout out to you guys up in the booth. Enjoy watching these and look forward to watching this later this week.
Well, there you heard it from your winner here tonight from the Iowa Speedway. Sean Butler led 44 laps en route to his back-to-back-to-back victories. So the man right now is on the hot streak, Jared. But question is, next week he's not looking forward to Homestead. Do you think he could possibly win his 4th one in a row?
I don't know, Roger. Judging by those stats, it could be another bad race for him after winning these 3 in a row.
Yeah, 3 in a row for Sean Butler. Looking at the statistics, usually doesn't prove too well for driver of the 88. But we're going to find that all out next week. Looking possibly, now these are the unofficial chase results here, but I believe Sean Butler, obviously you saw him win last week, you saw him win this week. He is locked in. Tim Blum also locked in with Richard Murdoch. Looks like Brandon Minto locks himself in. Patrick Ward, James Skelton, Tim Blum, and I believe the last person to lock themselves in is going to be... I may have just read that wrong because Josh Buckley and Max Terriel also locked themselves in. The 2 that are not locked in would have been Kyle Souza and Ethan Troutman. So that looks like that could possibly be Troutman and Souza looking in. So congratulations to all the drivers who did make it to the next round of 8. Another 2 races, Miami, Homestead, and Bristol, will determine the next 2 drivers that, or the next 4 drivers that get locked out. I could read my own notes sooner or later here. All the way to the Charlotte Motor Speedways for the Championship 4. It's going to be a heads-up race there on September the 16th to see who can bring home the championship. Could it be Sean Butler? How about Max Terriel, Tim Blum? Both of them had strong showings here tonight. James Skelton, Joshua Buckley, Richard Murdoch, Brandon Minto. You never know who's going to show up to win the race. Tune in next Monday night right here on your Turn 3 Racing Network to watch the Red Light Scrambler Series head to the round of 8 from Miami with the Gander Outdoor Truck Series right here on your Monday night